my shit.
Hey Jamers, Jones here, back with another video. So today we're gonna start a completely new series, Storytime with Jones. I'm going to tell you guys all about like the weirdest stuff that has happened to me on AJ, some of the most awkward things, some of the spookiest things, and some of the absolute worst possible things. So sit down, relax, and prepare to listen. Storytime with Jones, Episode 1. Alright, so some of you may know that I've been playing Animal Jam for a really long time, basically since it started. My first time playing Animal Jam was 2 days after it released for public beta testing in 2010. At that time I was 10 and I went to a private school with a bunch of really cool people. I made a lot of good friends there, and I came to realize later most of them weren't so good, but for the time being it was pretty great. Anyway, most of them had gotten into Animal Jam too, like it was a big thing at our school. So of course all of us would trade usernames and stuff like that. We'd bring our laptops over to each other's houses and sit together in the living room and play Animal Jam together. Like, it was really fun. This went on for like a good half a year, and I got really comfortable hanging out around my friends playing Animal Jam. I had a really good best friend at that time. I'm not going to say her real name, but let's just use the initial K for her. So, K and I were over at my house one day, right? I played Animal Jam on a big old Mac computer, and she played Animal Jam on a tiny laptop that our parents had gotten her. We were sitting in my room, and I remember I got up and I said, Kay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'll be back in like 5 minutes, okay? And she was like, okay, no big deal, right? Come back, Kay's still in the same place, all my stuff is still in the same place. But as soon as I got back to my room, Kay had to be picked up, so she left. As soon as she left, I went back to the computer to log back onto Animal Jam with my other friends. And that was when I had discovered my whole account had been wiped. I didn't know what happened. I hadn't given my password to anyone. I am so secretive with my passwords. It's who I am. So I was just completely blown away that somebody had guessed my password and gotten into my account. I didn't really have a lot of stuff at that point, but still everything was completely gone. I was so distressed because as a little kid, it feels like your privacy has been violated. It's not fun to have someone go into your personal account like that. Anyways, you know, the next day at school, I was super upset. I was like, told all my friends that I got hacked. And my friends were like, oh, I'm really sorry for you. And they would send me little rares. And I distinctly remember that I had this one pink tiger plushie. And I remember that Kay sent it over to me from her account. And I was like, okay, it's a little weird that she gifted me like the exact same plushie. But me being a kid, I didn't think, no, my best friend, she wouldn't do that, right? So I went into super sleuth mode and I started looking around my room. I remember that Kay had sat in this one chair in the corner of my room. I had gone to the bathroom for 5 minutes. She couldn't possibly have guessed my password, gone in and taken everything in that 5 minutes, could she? And that was when I opened my drawer to my desk. There was a hidden little area in my desk that was behind a bunch of bottles and stuff, and that's where I kept my journal. And my journal had all my passwords and all my information in it so that I wouldn't forget it. But unless you were actively looking for the journal, you wouldn't be able to find it. So I looked in my drawer, and all the bottles were to the side, and alarm bells just started going off in my head. I hadn't told anyone about my journal. It was way shoved in the back of this old dresser. I hadn't told anyone but my best friend. I couldn't believe it. Like, I refused to believe it. So I logged on and I looked at my friend's character and slowly started just by looking at her den and looking at all her animals. I realized that she had my stuff. She thought I wouldn't notice that she was wearing my stuff a day after she'd gone into my account. So normally people are kind of decent about that if you go to their parents and say, hey, your kid hacked my kid's game account. But I went to Kay's mom and I was like, hey, Kay went into my account and got my stuff. Can you ask her to give it back? First of all, the mom was like, no, Kay wouldn't do anything like that. So she completely shot me down. Like, a parent was defending her kid for hacking my account. A parent was defending a 10-year-old that had done something wrong. But it turns out like she did ask Kay and Kay denied it, but she also sent me over some more of my items, but she still denied it, and it was horrible. And you know, I could live with my account being hacked. I could live with all my stuff being gone because I can replace it and ultimately items are just not that big of a thing. But what really shook me to my little kid's soul was the fact that this person valued my digital stuff over the friendship that I had built with her for like 4 years. years. I could not get that through my head. She thought it was more important to go into a digital website that was one part of my life and wipe it and break all our trust than it was more important than to just ask for whatever item that she wanted. I was so hurt, and we kind of stopped talking after that, and thankfully I moved away from that. I left the school. It's always made it a little harder for me to trust people. It's not like I'm scared that they're going to go hack my Animal Jam account. It's the fear that I'm putting my trust into someone who ultimately is not going to replicate it back. And trust is really important. So if there's one thing that you've taken away from this video, it's that if you're good friends with someone, that trust is pure gold. You cannot break that. That is one of the most important things that you will have in your entire life. Treasure it. So that's the end of my story. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like down below. Just slap that like button. Helps me so much. And if you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. As always, jammers, stay safe and jam on. Jones out.